Hello and happy Saturday from Radically Rational and RadicallyRational.com. First off, I hope your spring break ain't broke. Let's have a good one. What do you say? All right, so I'm wearing a Da Bears t-shirt only because I don't have a Da Panthers t-shirt. So BB and I are catching an early dinner at Stoneworks late yesterday afternoon, and we're in there having a good time, and all of a sudden I glanced up at the TV that was hung over the nearby bar, and it has this banner headline that the Bears have traded the top pick. Pretty intriguing. So Carolina goes for it. So here's what happens with the Bears. They get Carolina's first and second round draft choices this year. They get next year's 2024's first round draft choice, and then a number 2 in 2025, and veteran wide receiver DJ Moore is thrown into the mix as well. Okay, so here's a couple of things that we know right now because the intrigue is not over. Obviously, Carolina is going to take a quarterback. We just don't know who it's going to be. And the other thing we know is, at least for right now, the Texans are not in a position to guarantee they get the quarterback they want, even though we don't even know who that is. So it was noted NFL analyst BB that brought this up. And initially I poo-pooed it, and then I thought about it some more and said, yeah, BB pretty good at this stuff. So might the Panthers in turn take that first choice and trade down again because they're going to have some suitors? Now that would only make sense if you figure that the Panthers would be happy with any one of 3 quarterbacks, like Bryce Young, like C.J. Stroud, like Will Levis. But you know what? This thing about we'd be happy with any of the 3, that's not real in the NFL. You rank players. I'll promise you there's a guy that Carolina wants. And keep in mind, their coach is Frank Reich, and he wants to get his quarterback house in order after the quarterback hell that he went through in Indianapolis that ultimately cost him his job. So there's one of those guys that Reich wants. I think it's probably Stroud or Levis. I love Bryce Young. He just doesn't strike me as a Frank Reich type of quarterback. So we'll see what happens. So what are the Texans going to do? Yeah, I mean, if they stay there at number 2, they'll get a guy and a good guy. But once again, I'll promise you there's a guy they want. So the only way they can guarantee they can make that happen is to do some business with the Panthers. Very, very interesting. And a lot of things are going to happen between now and the first round of the draft on April 27th. A couple of notable passings that I want to mention in the NFL yesterday. Otis Taylor, the former Chiefs receiver who made one of the most spectacular plays in Super Bowl history to historically win Super Bowl IV for the Chiefs over the NFL's Minnesota Vikings. He left us yesterday, as did longtime NFL executive Dick Haley, who did such a wonderful job for both the Steelers and the Jets and was universally beloved in the NFL, and he left us yesterday at the age of 85. Okay, so this is cool when you're still learning. I'm 68, and I'm still learning new meteorological terms like atmospheric river. That's a new one on me. Probably a new one on everybody. I'm sure this is all just coincidence, right? This is just part of the natural cycle of things. So I'd never heard that term before, but I'd heard bank failure. And I was hoping I was not going to hear bank failure again. And then the bulletin comes across my phone as I'm on the treadmill yesterday morning. Don't quite know what to make of this. Second biggest bank failure in U.S. history, Silicon Valley Bank. And there are some unique circumstances here. It looks to me, like probably to you too, that this bank was too highly specialized and not diversified enough, because almost all of their customers, their borrowers, were startup techies. Okay, and then when the Fed starts progressively raising interest rates to cool off the economy and that borrowing gets very expensive, those customers bail. So the question now, is this a one-off? Let's hope so. Or the start of something big? We'll have to keep an eye on this, because you wonder if there are other banks that are hanging by a thread for the same reasons. I will say this, FDIC did a wonderful job of stepping in right away. They did not mess around. Okay, I'm here to give you an earnest warning. I am establishing a 24-hour statute of limitations on bitching about daylight savings time. I'm gonna give you a 24-hour window from 2 a.m. Sunday to 2 a.m. Monday. Then get it out of your system, quit your whining, quit your bitching, get on with it. You are losing an hour. You are not losing a leg. Enjoy it. We're Radically Rational.